Howdy, this is my Zenatation presentation for week 3. I am Daniel Allworth. My first slide is the first question I proposed, which is who am I and what motivates me? And then to answer that, it's kind of a broad question. I am a son of God, I am a husband, I am a child of my mother and my father, or I'm someone who enjoys chocolate chip cookies. There's a lot of ways to answer that question. But I am many things that are good and bad, a human with a soul. And what motivates me is desire and necessity. Desire is a stronger motivator than necessity, and the necessity is your secondary motivator when I am devoid of any desire. So, to answer some of the questions, how can I create my own personal framework to have the best ability to learn new things? Now, this is the only question that I did not get any feedback on, so how can I create my own personal perfect framework to learn things? I think this is an ongoing process, and I perhaps won't find an answer looking it up online or watching TED Talks. This is something that will take perhaps years of experience in my field, and maybe that's not even no such thing as a personal perfect framework for best ability to learn new things. My theory would be research or practice, exercising, and testing. Practice something by researching it or playing with something, exercising it by testing it out, and then testing it by a real life situation happening where you have to implement the things that I've learned. How do I best identify other individuals' ability to learn and work with their greater framework of their learning? This question was answered by Aaron Wheeler, that is in this class, so thank you for answering that. He told me and taught me that he's a teaching assistant, so he has some personal real life experience, which is great. And it's difficult to figure out a way that a student can be connected with that has like a shorter attention span or hyperactive, and that many students have many things that make it hard for them to teach or to work with. And he said is to simply get to know them and be real with them, establish like a real relationship so they can trust you, and trust you as a teacher, as someone that's professional, and just like be a real person with them. Understand what some things they may have struggled with, and when you understand their weaknesses, you can better work with their strengths. So thank you again, Aaron Wheeler. My last question is, to what extent is my responsibility to continue to learn in my lifetime? And with this one, I was linked a TED Talk by Emily Hansen, so thank you, Emily, for replying to my question. It was a TED Talk called Tasha Erek, Increase Your Self-Awareness, and it was a pretty long talk, but the meat of it is that to continue to like to learn or to understand where you are in your own life, you have to constantly be self-aware, and to not only to be self-aware, but to develop self-awareness through all the stages of our life, or tragedies or successes or mistakes, and to continue to be self-aware of where we are and where we want to be and what we have. So I'd say that my responsibility to continue learning is an entirety of a lifetime, because there's always something more to learn, whether it be temporal, spiritual, or practical, or more recreational. There's always something new, and even on a spiritual sense, the eternity is to know as much as possible, really. And yeah, that's it.